Hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, and today I want to talk about a couple of things regarding NIKKE and the current patch we have. Even though we've gotten really good quality of life and finally some good endgame that properly reward us, there is still a couple of things that I want to mention that I wish NIKKE focus on changing next. Some things that really need to be actually changed, right? So as usual, before we start, leave a like, subscribe, help me grow the channel, and let's get directly started with the first topic for today, and that's going to be the wishlist. All right, the wishlist is something that right now, considering how many units we get, on a monthly basis as well, and you know that we can only wishlist 5 per manufacturer, it's time we change this. It's kind of time we change this. For a lot of people, this is becoming kind of useless because Tetra, of course, has way too many characters in contrast to something like Elysion, right? Everyone's favorite manufacturer, Elysion, has barely any usable units, and then Mysteries and Tetra are, you know, doubling them in terms of just pure numbers when it comes to the amount of characters. So I wish they did rework it a little bit, the wishlist, in the sense of how many units we can add here. I'm not sure what the good number would be. I am not saying we should be able to allow pilgrims in here. I don't think that's the case, but I think they should remove the manufacturers themselves and just allow us to put 15, 10 or 20 characters, whatever it is, on the wishlist, no matter what manufacturer they're from. Because again, right now, over time, we just keep getting more and more characters, and there is already like 130 characters in the game. This is only gonna keep getting worse over time, so I wish this was something they actually changed. And actually, speaking of number of slots, something that I've been complaining since day one, and the second topic, please shift up, for the love of God. I've been asking for this since day one. All right, lobby. We can only put 5 lobbies in here. Why? Every other game allows you to put a lot more, or just put random ones. There is 130 characters, 130 skill cutscenes, a lot of events, and now we also have the favorite items. We also have the gacha skins as well that include this, and the free skins we get from time to time, like Modernia and next month Red Hood. This means there is around 300 backgrounds we can select from, while only being able to put 5 on the lobby, which makes absolutely no fucking sense. When it comes to a small quality of life like this is not hard to implement. This is not something, you know, that will take them a month or two to actually change this stuff. No, this is like a day fix they can actually start working on without any problems, but it is what it is. I wish we were able to select more characters because there is so many good backgrounds that I want to see, but then it's like, okay, there is clearly ones that are better and I can only put 5, so I need to sacrifice them, and it's whatever. Now, as you've seen by this video, the changes that I'm talking mostly are the things that I would like to change in general are in-game systems rather than our usual talk about fan service and how it needs to change or be, you know, more Coomer. It's just in-game systems that actually need to change. Now, it took Shift Up a year and a half to give us a decent-ish endgame, so I'm not expecting any of these changes to actually happen overnight, but it would be really nice if we actually could get some of these. Now, the other topic that I want to talk about is related to characters in the game, and that's 2 things. First of all, the treasure system and how it's being implemented in a way that makes no sense. What characters are getting the treasures makes no sense. Because initially this system they said was for all units to be able to catch up a little bit and be more usable. All units and really bad units. But the reality is that they are tying this to a story rather than actual bad units that have been since release, since day one in the game. So when it comes to the treasures, you have Laplace, which actually became a really good DPS. That you have Diesel, Frima, and Exia, which, alright, when characters super used, Diesel is still, you know, a decent character even without the treasure. And then you have Viper, which was tied to the story rather than the actual, you know, than actually being a bad character. Is Viper a bad B2? She's not the best one, but there is clearly worse B2s, alright? You have 8, you have Uni, you have Arya, you have Base, Signal, all of the Liberation characters, Nero, Fogwan, Admi, right? There is plenty of characters that could use a treasure better than Viper. That's it though, that's it. The other thing that I want to tie with this point is not only the treasures and how they should be released for actual characters that need it, but also the SR units. Shift Up since release never cared about SR units, and I never understood this because purple characters in this game, it's not like they have added any more characters. We've gotten Neve, Anchor, and the collaboration characters, I believe. Those are the only SRs since day one that have been added. So it's like, okay, why not make them usable? Why not add the treasures to these characters as well that actually need it, that actually would make sense to make them usable, to make them good? So many players could benefit from that rather than a fucking treasure for Frima. right? Because at the end of the day, the treasure system right now, it's still only 5 of them, and as a new player, you might not even have these characters. Now, I am expecting a treasure for Alice, which would make no sense, but it would actually tie with the new day-by-day event. I think this would be a really bad move, and I hope they don't do it. I really hope it's not the case. But it would make sense from the point of, okay, we're giving you a free Alice, you can fully build her. Now look at this treasure you can actually, invest in if you wanted to. She is already one of the, strongest characters in the game. So it would make no sense to actually do this, but it's shift up, so we shall see. So there's a lot of small things and small systems that I would love to change. Like I was saying, like a quick recap, right? The wishlist system, I think it needs to be changed already. The background system or the lobbies that we can put is only 5, where there is close to 300 backgrounds. The treasure systems being released for characters that make no sense, and how slow the release of treasures is, which, to be honest, it's slow considering how little resources we get as well in there, so it's whatever. It would be nice though if they increase the pace and we also get more materials to actually increase the level of our dolls. And then lastly, the SR characters and how useless they are, right? Since day one, there is no good purple character. Oh, Sefhi, you can use Anis in PvP. No one cares about PvP, alright? Let's be honest here for a second. The purple characters, unless you like them, unless you are Item Block Commander or one of those chats, you are not building them, right? There's barely any people building them, which is always like a weird thing. Even the collab characters are quite bad for SR characters. But that's gonna be it for this video. Those are like some of the changes that right now I would love to see. There is a lot more stuff when it comes to systems in game that actually need to change, and we're gonna be making a follow-up video on Overclock after we finish testing this season and a couple more things. Do let me know what systems you guys would like to see change. I'm not talking about getting more resources in general. We all know we are capped on resources and how bad it is, but it's a gacha, so we have to be realistic on some of these aspects, right? They will try to monetize everything they can. At least we can push for some of the systems to be changed. That's it. That's gonna be it for this one. Love you all, botos. Have a great day. Thank you to my Petros for making this content possible. As usual, good luck with your pool dinner needs. I'll see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。